Hello, and I'm back at SeaTac again, and today we're going to be flying on Condor. This is DE flight number 2033 on an A3900neo plane. This will be my first time flying Condor, so I'm going to be excited. I've got a business trip going into Italy here, and I'm going to be seated in one Foxtrot, which I think is actually one of the premium seats. So super excited to go and give this product a try. And again, this is our plane and bird that is going to take us over to Frankfurt before a leg on Lufthansa over to Naples, where I have business travel. So I'll take you along with me. Next up is to the lounge, but I'm not going to film the lounge because it's probably going to be really crowded, and it's the club at Seattle, to which it's kind of a subpar lounge in my opinion, having flown through a lot of times. So I'm going to fuel up for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to get on board this pretty 900 Neo bird. Okay, now that we're aboard here, I didn't quite get one Foxtrot. I got 7 Foxtrot instead, and it's still not a bad seat overall. Looking at the front here, the table can be pressed. When you just simply press that button, and then that extends out the table. Looking further at the seat, we've got a little bit of extra room on the bottom. This is where we can go ahead and put extra shoes, and then we get slippers. There's also a blanket. This is my own pillow, not the airline's, to be clear. And then over here we've got standard USB-C as well as A, and headphones, which are located right here. Interesting enough, and I'll present later on, we've got the amenity kit, but also this travel organizer gadget bag. That's going to be pretty interesting here. And of course a bottle of water to go alongside with the hook to go and hang the headphones. Then we got a remote control that's over here on the bottom side. And we'll show the in-flight entertainment once we get on and airborne. I want to show a small detail that you get with the introductory drinks, is that you've got a little bit more to the table here. It's actually stitched. Just a small detail I wanted to point out. Looking at what we have with the in-flight entertainment, we have, of course, the clock, as well as toggling between the to and from destinations. Also have the world map, which I'm going to select. This is part of the Thales, I believe, system as it comes to the aircraft. You have seen this on several other different airlines that offer Flight Path 3D. Additionally, also got here Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi costs, I believe, €5. I could be wrong there, so double check me on that. Then we've got movie selection, and then also music relaxation, and I believe there's also some in-flight shopping that can be found here. I'm always a fan of that. There's also the magazine that is also located down below on the seat that has the same thing, but you can view it digitally as well. Movie selection here, I would say it's quite extensive in terms of what is offered. And you can do filtering out of it. So I would say it's a modest selection from what I have seen here. And then you can also go on the audio side as well. Now you could have additional filters, which is very nice. Furthermore, I don't know if I'm going to be rocked on this. This good to know is videos for what is in the business class here, which I'll go through in a little bit more detail as we get closer. Additionally, we've got, of course, a big selection with audio podcasts here. I think it's probably modest of selection. And, of course, there's going to be a cafe for those that are in economy class, but we're seated in business, so we don't have to worry about that quite here. So with that, going to sit back a little bit and have a little bit more than 8 hours and 14 minutes remaining to board. And then we'll show the amenity kit next. You can't go wrong with hot towel service. Towels are nice and hot and fresh, and really refreshing scent, and super like it right before our appetizer and a main course meal selection. Alright, we got nut mix. Let's see if this stands up to the United test or Lufthansa. So this is the sweet variety. Yeah. Sweetened mix, which I personally prefer the regular mix, but hey, it's one way to go and spruce it up and make a difference. Let's show the amenity kit. It's a little bit of a bag, or more of a paper-esque feel, in my opinion. Luckily, these tabs, a little bit easier. You could just kind of squeeze through rather than trying to rip it out. So, inside here, what do we got? Obviously, everything's on the label, but let's see what it's specific to. So we got a face moisturizer. And of course, we've got socks as well as the eye mask. This eye mask is okay, I guess I would say. The socks are definitely of an interesting bit. Quite the colorful bit here. What do you think? Put some comments down in the section below. And then we've also got toothbrush and toothpaste combo. I have a feeling this is of the smaller side. Anything else? Hollow on the inside, so fairly basic amenity kit, but I like how they give you this travel organizer bag. And this is where you can fit all the cables. As you can see, I'm just charging everything. Yeah, that'll all fit in this later. I find this really practical. I really like that they go and provide this. A small detail to note, but what I really like about this seat is that the table actually pushes back more than enough to allow you to go in and out. So really good seat design where you can quickly go and exit out into the aisleway if you want to go and pick something from above, or if you're using the restroom that is right behind me. This is great stuff. If you haven't had alcohol-free beer, it is a thing in Germany where, especially if you're a triathlete like I am, alcohol-free beer, you can just drink it without guilt, and it's delicious. And it's not in the same fermentation, so the nutrition value of alcohol-free beer is really high. So it's a fantastic recovery drink. So looking forward to having a few of these on tonight's flight. The appetizer course has arrived. And we're going to take little bites from each of these. Got a lot of ranch. I'm probably not going to really use the ranch, but we've got apparently seared tuna, got some sauerkraut, forgot what he called it, so sliced ham, and then of course with cheese and salmon lux, pretzel bread. my favorite stuff, and of course a salad. So let's go and give this seared tuna a try here. Bon appetit. Definitely great flavor with that. There's a smoke and peppery portions of this that bring it out, just really brings out the taste here. And then we got the sauerkraut next. Fairly decent sauerkraut, to say the very least. It's not my most favorite type of sauerkraut, but this is definitely more of a normal German variety. And then, not sure how to really go about this. We'll give this a try, which I think we have some feta cheese and salami. Wow. Oh, that's fantastic. Like, really, really good. I really do like that. That's great. I really, yeah, a lot to like there. And I'll give a little bit of this, okay. Yeah, this paired with, that'll replace the salad dressing. Oh, this has got a little kick to it. And then next, then we got prosciutto. That's what I was trying to remember. So, good. The prosciutto from, we're going to compare the prosciutto from Spain, Germany, and Italy. That's what's going to happen in this business trip. And of course the greens. A little bit of celery and additional vegetables I can't think of off the top of my head, but really good. I tend to like raw flavors of vegetables more, and that's when you know, okay, is it prepared fresh or not? And then lastly, we got the pretzel bread. Give me a minute here. There's just something different with European pretzel breads compared to American pretzel bread, and I love the European stuff better. So overall, really good first course. I do like all of these, and the spicy kick from that. So, gonna sit back, relax, and we're gonna have a little bit more. The tenderloin has appeared, so we've got, aside with it, some asparagus as well as some cucumber, as well as potatoes and peppers and squash. It does feel a little bit stiff, so we'll see how it tastes. Let's give a bite. Yeah. Definitely dry. Not gonna lie, that's a dry tenderloin. I kind of knew as soon as I started cutting into it too. Plus it looks well done, so not the highest mark, but we'll see if the vegetables and the sauce make up for it. So squash and cucumbers, okay. Then we got the potato. Okay. Potatoes are soft, but they're not very soft, so there's just still a little bit of stiffness with it. The sauce is certainly helping to make up for, I think, what it does feel a little dry to me, in my personal opinion. One more bite. Yeah. The sauce really helps here, but you know, this is on the dry side. I was having high hopes after a really good appetizer. Then we got additional peppers and squash. Okay. This is a little better. Squash has more flavor, that's for sure. And then we'll try here, of course, the red pepper. It's a little bit hard to pick up. Yeah. So, overall, the sauce is what's going to really help to make up their difference, but this is on the dry side, which feels disappointing considering the appetizer was just so good. But it's always going to be hits and misses. Lastly is asparagus. It's okay, but better than what Lufthansa provides, that's for sure. So there we have overall, the meat and potatoes feel a little bit on the dry side. I was hoping there'd be a little bit more moisture, but hey, we've got a little bit more to go. Here we have the cheese platters. I will note that, yeah, I need a little bit of that lactate before going in with the cheese. I'm not going to risk it. So we've got 3 different types of cheese as well as some grapes. Going to have little snippet bites, I think, of cheddar? No, that's not cheddar. That's Gouda. A smoky Gouda. It's hard to go wrong with cheese. And then next we have dill. Oh yeah. And of course some feta. Goat feta cheese. Sharp, crisp. Good way to go and end the meal course. And of course, grapes. Of the seedless variety, so pretty good. So there's kind of a pseudo dessert there. I think this wraps up the main course menu. So next up will come the bed setup. Let's talk about the bedding configuration. As we can see here, it's a little bit dark on that end, but we've got plenty of room to show around. That's my pillow there. And then going over through to the side, we've got plenty of space. So, okay, let's test this bedding configuration. I will note the pillow behind me is my own, but there's another pillow that's below. But just want to show the space that I have. It's a little bit tight on where I'm at, but when it comes to the leg space, there's quite a bit of leg space. So this is more than sufficient for someone that's around like 6'2", 6'3". Like, no problems at all. It is a little bit on the narrow side here. I don't have that much room to really play around with. Right? There's not a ton of room, but, you know, enough to be vertical. But when it comes to horizontal space, probably could use a little bit wider. But again, I'm in a bulkhead seat, so, or the aisle seat, so gonna try to get some shut-eye here. And we'll wake up, hopefully, an hour and a half before landing in Frankfurt. Breakfast has arrived, and we've got an omelet, some fruit, as well as a little bit of a small platter of cheese and some salami. And, of course, the pretzel bread, which I have tried earlier. So the quick sampler here is going to mainly just be for the omelet. The omelet. Oh, I love that. Flavor's great. Great way to wake up. And next up, we've got a little bit of the fruit platter, which is alluded to. I think there is some additional cheese on the side here. Yep. As well as a bed of lettuce underneath the tomato and cucumber. Let's see how the cheese is. I think this is cheddar. Let's give it a try. They do the cheese right here on this flight, and overall, I'd say a good breakfast is a delicious breakfast, and this is delicious.
I have now landed back into Frankfurt. Now I am landside, and here in Frankfurt Airport, I've now passed through Schengen passport control. Quick recap of my thoughts on the Condor flight. I thought it was a fairly good flight. The things I think are notable is that the food, well, at least now I won't not order the tenderloin, but the food was really good. I really liked the breakfast. The breakfast omelet was amazing. Seat overall, I know it was a little bit dark to kind of show that video. The seat I thought was okay. The feet, I thought there was going to be more room with the feet, but it ends up being like really narrow towards the end, so didn't get the best of sleeps. But you know, you got to do what you got to do to get a little bit of snooze time. Slept for about 5 hours, which is okay, not the best, but that's how international red-eye flights go. So overall, really, I would say a fairly good flight, kind of unique product. I would say it's a very competitive offering compared to Lufthansa. So if you're looking to find ways to get into Europe, Condor is a really good alternative, and you could also you can also connect your Alaska mileage plan accordingly. So there you go. I'm gonna walk around a little bit before my connecting flight on Lufthansa over to Naples. But if you like this video, of course, leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if you've flown on Condor business class, as well as hit the bell notification and hit that like button. You know how to do the YouTube algorithm. So until the next one, Yoshi out.